Okay, so recently we actually have been reporting on some of the abortion laws that have been getting passed in these crazy, like, Republican states. So, like, for example, in Ohio, we reported on a heartbeat bill that would be 6 weeks, which is when a majority of women don't even fucking know they're pregnant, right? So that actually didn't get passed because John Kasich didn't sign the bill into law. However, he did sign a 20-week one, which is still unconstitutional, and it will be shot down, just like I said in the last video. And here we got another story of that. So in Oklahoma, there's actually a bill that was in 2014 that was actually deemed unconstitutional as well, because it was another form of basically trying to marginalize the people who want to get an abortion and make it inaccessible. So basically, the way that these crazy Republicans try to block abortion from people being able to get abortions is because of Roe v. Wade and how it's unconstitutional, and often these bills just simply get ruled unconstitutional. Basically, what's happened is they try and pass shady little things in there that makes it so millions of people can't get it. So they'll make some random requirement for a building or maybe some requirements for a doctor, and they make some bullshit excuse like, oh, we want to do this because we need to ensure that, it's correct and it's being done the correct way or some shit like that. But in reality, they're just trying to marginalize the people who want an abortion and obviously lower the amount of people with access to abortion. So there's another case, and honestly, it took them a while, man. This passed in 2014. So we have some quotes here from this article. I really recommend you guys read it. It's a very good read. So we got a quote: the Oklahoma Supreme Court struck down on Tuesday a state law requiring doctors who perform abortions to have admitting privileges at a hospital near their clinic, saying the measure, quote, places an undue burden on a woman's access to abortion. Also, quote, the court said the 2014 law violates the state's constitution, and if it remained on the books, it would have left a state of about 4 million people with one abortion clinic. Another quote, its decision comes after the U.S. Supreme Court in June struck down a similar restriction in neighboring Texas. Abortion providers challenged the Texas law, saying it was medically unnecessary and specifically intended to shut clinics. Okay, so basically they break it down there quite bluntly. So basically the Supreme Court of the state has actually shut it down after, I think a state Supreme Court also shut it down in Texas, another ridiculous requirement for abortion law that would just simply, again, reduce the amount of people who would be able to have access to abortions. Because, for example, can you imagine that a state with 4 million people has one abortion clinic? How many people can that one clinic serve? Not many, I will tell you that for free. So basically, the shady-ass Republicans like to find ways to just marginalize the people who have access to it, even though the Supreme Court has ruled it unconstitutional. So here's another quote. We find there is no evidence to support defendants' position that this legislation protects and advances women's health, the Oklahoma court wrote in its opinion. So they're breaking it down there quite bluntly, the Supreme Court. They're saying, hey, you guys are bullshitting this. This doesn't actually help women's health. This doesn't advance it. This is just a sleazy dickbag way for you guys to throw something in there to, again, marginalize the people and have less access to it. So last quote, Oklahoma Republican lawmakers who backed the law said requiring admitting privileges would ensure continuity of care if there were complications from an abortion. Abortion rights advocates said complications are exceedingly rare and could be treated at any emergency room. Okay, so the point here I want to make is how really kind of sleazy and weird these motherfuckers are to me, because a majority of these lawmakers are old-ass men. So first of all, they're old-ass men trying to control what women do with their body. And number two, how do sleazy fuckbags like this just find these kind of loopholes? Now, I don't want to call it loopholes because it's honestly just basically cheating the system. So even though the Supreme Court has ruled it unconstitutional, they go, hey, fuck it, we're going to find some random shit. We're going to come up with some random shit to place into law so that there's way less people with access to their ability to get an abortion. So please, old motherfuckers, can you please spend some time on maybe something better than trying to control what women do with their body? Thank you.